can't imagine how I'm feeling. I can't admit it to myself. So where would I even begin? You can't admit you to understand. You can't admit you to understand. You can't admit you to understand. So where would I even begin? You can't admit you to understand. You can't admit you to understand. You can't admit you to understand. So where would I even begin? You can't admit you to understand. You can't admit you to understand. You can't admit you to understand. So where would I even begin? Can't admit you to understand. You can't admit you to understand. You can't admit you to understand. So where would I even begin? You can't admit you to understand. You can't admit you to understand. You can't imagine how I'm feeling. I can't admit it to myself. You can't admit you to understand. You can't admit you to understand. You can't admit you to understand. So where would I even begin? You can't admit you to understand. 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 So where would I even begin? You can't admit you to understand. You can't admit you to understand. You can't admit you to understand. So where would I even begin? You can't admit you to understand. 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 You can't admit you to understand.
Good morning, Tradeify Nation, and welcome to another edition of Tradeify TV. It is Tuesday, November 11th, 2025. It is 60 minutes before the New York opening bell, which means it's time for us to get you ready for your trading day. Also, a special happy Veterans Day to all those who served honorably in the armed forces here in this country and, quite frankly, all over the world. Thanks for everything you've done. We truly appreciate you, and we wish you a wonderful and restful day. For the rest of us, I do highly encourage you when everything is back open tomorrow, just make sure whoever they represent, whatever party affiliation they are, call your local congressmen and your senators and tell them, hey, we need to do a little more for veterans in this country, because honestly, we do. But thank you to each and every one of you who has served. With that in mind, let's go around the horn. And I see he's already walking. He's probably already got 30,000 steps in. He's wearing his white t-shirt. His hair is perfect, on point, in place. There was one hair out of place yesterday, Nick. I didn't really want to say anything to you, but it looks like it's been fixed. You have redeemed yourself, and I'm very, very happy to see that. So let's introduce him and let him say hello to everybody. Mr. YT himself, Swiss Nick. Nick, good morning.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. I very much redeemed myself. That's very true. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Tradeify Nation. Hope you're all ready to crush it. I hope the market will give us some moves today. I said during lunch stream it might be that the impact of Veterans Day is not going to be that big, but since I saw the movement after that session, I'm not too convinced. So let's see where it takes us. But let's actually get into the charts. But before we do, let's introduce our one and only future slaying, matcha drinking, self-muting, hot girl walking, stranger hugging, Slack notification hating, do not disturb mode forgetting, phone buzzing, bottom tick loving, rap battle, killing non-official Disney princess, Vegas casino gambler, rabbit, world traveler, curly trader, matcha mommy. Good morning, Mary.
Hey, good morning, Tradeify Nation. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Nick. Yes, happy Veterans Day to all those veterans out there. Hopefully you guys, like Matt said, are taking the day off. It is also an angel number day. Happy 11/11 as well. So we are getting ready for today. We have the market. We have a couple. When I say a couple, I am estimating here. A couple of Fed members speaking today. And we just have hopefully a really good trading day in the books for us. We're going to go over the charts. We're going to go over if Nick took any trades today, if he redeemed any sort of trades. And we're going to go over the rest of the charts. So before we do that, let's do the market wake up.
All right, so Mary, you said it's an angel number day, right?
Sure is.
That angel number tricked us heavily in the London session. Like I almost got TP, and 3 points away from my TP, it reversed and it hit my break-even point. And then Celine takes along one tick before her TP, trade reverses and hits her break-even point. And we were both sitting there like, what the heck? How did that happen twice? That's insane. Like literally.
Did you say what the helly?
What the helly?
I said what the helly multiple times today. So. Absolutely, I did. All right, but let's look at NQ and what we did in today's session so far. The daily open is at 25,722. We made a little bit of an up move, actually swept previous day high. Previous day high was sitting at 25,760, and then made our way back down right into this hourly fair value gap, which we are kind of respecting so far. We're basically just consolidating here around this area. I do personally think we have room for a bigger move to the downside, that we could actually go down to previous day mid here, 25,512, maybe even previous week mid, 25,487. If we do that, I obviously will have an eye on these two levels. And then the next one after that for me is this one right here, 25,004, basically the 450s, right? If we don't move to the downside and we move to the upside, then what I'm looking at is, first of all, peep up. And then after that, we have the daily open level and the previous day high, which I just spoke about. And if we move higher than that, then usually what I do is I just literally mark out the wicks and the candle bodies of the highs. Right, so one level for me would be 25,823, and then another one would be 25,862. And anything above that, I don't really care about for now. As I already said, right, if we look at this on the 5-minute chart, NQ is it's moving, but it's not really moving, right? It's just kind of like consolidating to the downside. It's kind of like building a channel, but the channel isn't really clean. So yeah, not the biggest fan of that price action, and I really hope that we do get some more moves once the market opens here, New York time, 9:30. Miriam, what do you see on your charts?
Yeah, everyone's mentioning in the chat, yes, we do have a bank holiday today. So typically with bank holidays, obviously the futures market is open, but we typically do tend to see lower volume. Price action tends to be a little bit finicky. So on days like this, I always just have to say, make sure you are aware of your position sizing, make sure you are aware of like just taking A+ setups only. And that's all I got to say about that. But that being said, in terms of the range that we're in, I mean, we talk about the previous day range, we talk about previous day high, previous day low. We are currently sitting on ES in the midpoint of that range. Nasdaq is sitting a little bit closer to the lower end of that range. Previous day low is sitting at 25,452. We are now sitting at 25,607, and previous day high is 25,760, I believe that is. But right now we are respecting this downward trend line here on the 1 hour on both futures. We don't have a lot of volume in the market so far. Like I said, it's not uncommon to see that on bank holidays, but we do have some areas that we could look at for taking trades. So in terms of ES, like I said, ES is a little bit closer to the midpoint, maybe a little bit higher than the Nasdaq right now. Nasdaq's kind of approaching this 1 hour demand zone that you guys can see here from yesterday. So
we're not on your chart.
Oh.
But Drew is switching right now.
Ew. Good.
Ew. There we go. Now you can.
Right.
Now you can go.
Okay, cool. So as I was mentioning here, you guys can see on the Nasdaq here on the left, this is the 1 hour chart. We are coming into this 1 hour demand zone. One thing I do want to mention as well on Nasdaq is that we did come into this supply zone that we rejected very nicely. You guys can see this supply zone is actually a multiple time frame supply zone. So for me, I just put 3 hour, but I also put in here that it's a 1 hour supply zone as well. So it starts at 25,754, goes up to, call it like 25,822. So right now, we did come into that area yesterday. We rejected. We didn't even get to the midpoint of this supply zone, and we have been rejecting since. We've been creating this downward trend line. So for me on the Nasdaq, I would like to see acceptance above this 645 area, but I would like to see a little bit of a push down into this 1 hour demand zone, really get some buyers in there, and then start pushing this up. So I will be looking at this demand zone for a possibility of a bounce in this area. I do like this formation a lot, actually. So I would be expecting some buyers to step in here and start to push us back up. Like I said, on ES, we do have some room more to the downside here. That same 1 hour demand zone is going to be sitting closer to this 809 level. 800 yesterday was a key area. We did take shorts on the Nasdaq, and I was looking for this 800 level to break, which we did. But you can see here, even on, if I go down to the 15-minute time frame, we really, really bounced in this area. We were not able to completely break through and make new lows past this 92. I was actually looking for this 89 area to break. So the fact that we held this, obviously there are, I would assume there are buyers wanting to defend this level. So for me, that area on ES is sitting at 6809 down to previous day low at 792. So I would be looking for another reaction. But again, like I said, I want a deeper push into these areas, confirm that buyers are really stepping in there, and then possibly look to take longs. Otherwise, if we don't come down into those areas, like I said, and I said this yesterday, I have to stay long biased. I really have to stay long biased considering the fundamentals that are going on right now in the overall markets and the overall scheme of things. And so I would be, anticipating more of a push up today. Like I said, if we do come down to this area, I would expect to bounce. And if that's the case, then I have to stay long biased throughout the week. And then I would be looking for this trend line to break to the upside, get us back above beep bop, and then possibly make a break through the previous day high. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. Otherwise, we break to previous day lows, and we would very much probably likely fill the rest of the gap from the Globex session on Sunday. So that's all I got. Matt, walk us through what you see.
Well, let's start right here with the RTY. Interesting move in the RTY yesterday while we were on stream as it was going down. We didn't quite fill the gap. It's very interesting to see such a move that looks like we want to fill this gap and then just doesn't quite do it by about a couple points. So again, that seems to kind of be a theme of things we've seen just thus far this early in the week, where we're seeing, areas of interest in the chart not quite getting hit, whether that's gap fills, beat bop, support, resistance, etc. Yesterday it just felt like a weird day, and maybe that was because we were moving into the holiday today, the bank holiday today. I'm not sure what's in store for today. I think it'll be a little bit of a slower day, but I'm willing to accept that we get some bigger movements. But there will be some institutional volume that is not in a market participant today, which does give us the opportunity for the algos to kind of scalp us to death. So we'll see what happens there. Gold, let's see, or excuse me, oil. No, fuck oil. So
yeah, fuck oil, Matt.
Man, I can't. I get out of your stupid range. Like, get out now.
Jeez.
Idiots. Anyway, not bitter at all. You think I actually haven't traded gold in the last couple of weeks, so you think it'd be just whooping my ass, or oil? Why do we gold oil? God damn.
Well, it's
early.
Gold. The dark gold.
So it's early and my brain's on holiday apparently.
Yeah.
But anyway, gold did have a nice breakout move in the overnight session on Sunday, and it's pretty much been back to straight up since then. We're coming into an area of resistance up here at about the 4150 area, so we're gonna need to break out there. It's both gold and oil have been really interesting traders over the course of this year, but both have sort of, again, we saw a lot of this chop in gold over the course of about a week to week and a half period prior to the Sunday night open this week. And since the Sunday night open, we've basically been almost straight up. So for me, I'm not expecting gold to have a breakout move on a bank holiday. Maybe we retrace down to 4120, but again, this is just going to be a day. I really don't have much of a thesis until we get into the New York Open. Let that first 15 and 30 minute orbs form, maybe even the initial balance, and go from there. I just don't. I don't have a huge bias one way or the other at this point. So yeah, that's basically what I got to say about that.
Yeah, also, chat, we're aware that the video right now is lagging a bit, and that you can hear us well. Our one and only Drew is working on it, and he will fix it. So just so you know, we're aware. Let's look at the leaderboard really quick. Leaderboard has changed. Remember yesterday when we were going through the leaderboard, actually Kane said that Presley was absolutely crushing it. He was at, I think, 88K profit. He fell down to rank 11. Drew, if we can go to my screen really quick. He fell down to rank 11, is now only $58,000 in profit, which is still sick. But it's interesting to me, like, as rank 1, why would you take another risky trade? I don't know, Matt, Mary, what are your thoughts on that? Why do you think he took a trade?
There's a lot. I mean, here's the thing. I mean, King kind of talked about this yesterday, but this is a competition, right? And so a lot of times you're probably not trading your normal trades, right? Like, you're sizing up probably more than you would normally be used to. You're taking more trades than you're probably comfortable with. So, you know, it is kind of the cutthroat moment of proving yourself. So yeah, a lot of that could just be, you know, the pressure of competing in participating in a competition like this. And
he was rank 1 though.
Right. You know, I get it. I'm with you. But yeah, maybe just wanting to create more of a buffer, and, you know, that's what happens in a competition like this.
I also think it's a matter of you know, again, we're all just trying to get through to the top 200. I think there's a week break between the
2 weeks.
2 weeks between the knockouts. Okay, and the rest of the competition. So, in all honesty, and then everyone goes into live, and it's, I mean, from what I understand, it's a 50 buying power 50K live account. And so I really question taking any trades at this point if you're in the top 10 or 20, because people need to catch you, right?
Yeah.
Like late into today and into tomorrow, I'm still a little bit on the outside looking in. I need to catch some people.
Dude, okay, but so, yeah, you're 5th on Team Tradeify TV though, and overall 243rd. So
hey. Well. I'm hanging in there, but I'm on the outside looking in. So we need to get there. So again, I'm really just looking for 1 or 2 A+ trades over the next 2 to 3 sessions, And I think that's all it's gonna take to get up to that top 200. Because again, there's going to be a lot of people around 200 that are going to be getting very aggressive. And again, you have to not only react to the market, you got to react to the movement on the board. And right now, it's on. And I looked at the, obviously we look at the top 10 every day. I've been zeroed in on like the last 20 or 30 people that are aiming for that top 200. And there's been a lot of change there. And meanwhile, I just kind of sit where I'm at and wait for the right opportunity to strike. This is one of those situations, guys. You can't, if you're on that bubble, you cannot win the competition today. You can lose it. So be very, very careful. I would be very, very curious why somebody would take some outsized risks there, but it is what it is. And obviously the I don't know anything about the individual that did that, but he got himself there, or herself, or whatever. So I'm assuming get back. But Fred, at that point, probably going to need to be, I wouldn't say aggressive, probably survive today. I think it's the top 3,800 or something today. I was looking at that. The first two is just sort of separating the weeds from the flowers, as it were, and then you're going to have to work for it, right? Like I think my strategy of kind of sitting back and reacting worked well yesterday. I think it'll work well today. But by tomorrow, it's going to be sorting a lot out, and I think there's going to be a lot of people in that top 200 that take themselves out by adding that level of anxiety to it. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's been fun, and I think the last couple of days on Friday, especially if I'm able to crack into that top 200, I'm going to be refreshing that chart every minute. It's going to be the last hour of the New York session, and then that little bit afterwards before things lock on Friday. You could see absolute chaos on the bottom of that top 200 leaderboard. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Somebody's going to miss it by a couple of dollars, or somebody's going to bomb out like 30 seconds before the close.
Oh no!
I will tell you this: it's going to be fun. This is, and again, I know there's been a lot. These types of competitions are becoming pretty popular in the space. There isn't one quite like this though, in terms of the way it's structured, in terms of the way the eliminations happen, the team aspect to it. That we've taken what is a fun concept and just made it even more fun with a tiny little dash of chaos, and I love it. It's fun.
Matt, I gotta say I'm a little disappointed in your choice of username. I mean, you had every opportunity to go with something like the best bald looking trader or something along those lines, but just fucking ruined it, didn't you?
I'm sorry to have disappointed you, Miriam.
Well. Now I have
first time, Matt.
I have some important news, chat. I have good news and bad news. Okay, the good news is the lag can most likely be fixed. The bad news is we have to end the stream and start a new one to actually do that. So here's what we're gonna do. This stream is gonna end in a second, and then we need probably like 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes until a new stream is back up. So make sure you go to the Tradeify YouTube channel right now. You make sure you're on there, because there will be a new stream coming up. It's not going to be the same link, right? We're going to be back in a couple minutes. So give us some time. We're going to fix it. But as a result, you're going to have a smooth stream.
We'll be back.